It's NFL Daily by Chat Sports. Tyler Jones here. It is mailbag time. These mailbag segments come from the live shows that we bring you a couple times a week here on the channel. We recorded this on Thursday. We were answering questions that people were sending in using the hashtag NFL and super chatting. And so without further ado, we will get started in just one moment. But first, I want to encourage you to subscribe to NFL Daily and join our weekly live shows. Turn on notifications. That way you stay up to date with the latest happenings around the National Football League. We got you covered here on the channel. Subscribe now for free and make sure to join us for our next live mailbag. All right, without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Georgie writes, what UDFA has the best chance to win Rookie of the Year? There's only one correct answer to this. First off, let me preface this by saying the chances aren't very high for any of them. But there is one that has a chance above the rest, and his name is Jake Bobo with the Seattle Seahawks. Bobo, terrific training camp, terrific preseason. He's going to be the Seahawks' number 4 receiver, and he's in a competitive receiving room. Jackson Smith-Njigba is there. Tyler Lockett, DK Metcalf. I mean, it's stacked up. If he was, let's say, a team that's got a bad receiver room of sorts, like, I don't know, Arizona. If he was in Arizona, okay, then all of a sudden we'd be like, yeah, he actually could compete for Rookie of the Year. But it's going to be tough for him just to get catches with all the guys he's competing with. But he's probably the most talented undrafted free agent out there. But Georgie, that's quite the question. I would put the chances low for any of them, but he would have the best chance. Jim Evan writes in, should New England bring in Jalen Reagor since Tyquan Thornton's on IR? Well, the Patriots, they ended up activating Bailey Zappi, or actually I take that back. They deactivated Bailey Zappi. Remember, they sent him over to the practice squad, signed Matt Corral today, and Corral ended up taking Tyquan Thornton's spot with Tyquan Thornton going to IR. So, GM Evan, the Patriots, while it's an interesting idea, Belichick and company already made up their mind. That spot is not going to be replaced with another receiver coming in. It's going to be replaced with the Patriots going here with this direction that they're going with Matt Corral. That's the decision that they've made up their minds and already gone with. As far as Jalen Reagor goes, Jalen Reagor was such a bust, right? After being picked in, the top 20 out of TCU, all the hype, the expectation, and all the great receivers that were picked in that draft. And what do you know? He just disappointed in Philadelphia, had a good preseason in Minnesota. I think he might be worth one more shot for somebody, but it won't be New England. I can tell you that much. Let's see. Next question. NFL is scripted. I like it. Will Chase Young get traded? You know, I would have answered yes to this question probably back a couple months ago as the Commanders were paying a lot of their guys, their defensive guys, and it didn't look like there was necessarily enough money for Chase Young. But then Chase Young had an outstanding camp, really good preseason. I mean, he looked the part, right? Chase Young did. And if he can stay healthy, then he can be that number 2 overall pick that he was back in 2020. So I don't think Chase Young's getting traded. I think they're going to end up paying him. I don't know how long the contract is, but I think he's staying put with that Commanders team for now. But if they do trade him, there's going to be plenty of suitors lining up with interest in Chase Young. Potentially could get a second-round pick for him. Your chance to be the GM here on NFL Daily. Should the Commanders trade Chase Young? Y for yes, N for no. Weigh in. Tell us what you think in the comment section. Should they make a move or not? I want to hear from you. Let us know in the comment section. Y for yes, N for no, if they should make a trade. Gary writes in, do you feel Chris Jones signs this weekend? You know, I don't know if it's necessarily this weekend exactly, but I think within the coming days, Chris Jones and the Chiefs find a way to get something done because Chris Jones is too valuable not to have on the football field because Here's the deal. If you were the Kansas City Chiefs and you were going to trade Chris Jones, you should have done that by now. You should have done that before the draft when you could have been able to replace him at that point. It's too late in the ballgame now. There is no way in hell you're going to find anybody out there that's even close to the caliber of Chris Jones to fill that gap at this point in time. You're a win-now team if you're the Kansas City Chiefs. You're right in Patrick Mahomes' prime. I think they get a deal done soon. I don't know if it's necessarily, on Saturday or Sunday. Maybe it's Monday, whatever it is. But they need him to play Thursday night. Every game matters. You're trying to get that number 1 seed. I think that they're going to find a way to get something done. Clayton writes in, why is a quality offensive lineman like Dalton Reisner still a free agent? That is the million-dollar question that I've been asking. Why is he still a free agent? Dalton Reisner spent 4 years in Denver, was really solid. I think he's a good leader. He's a good run blocker, decent pass blocker. Dalton Reisner can get the job done. I am surprised that he is still out there at this point in time. He said himself he wanted to kind of test the landscape of sorts and wasn't ready to sign immediately, but here we are, the season's beginning, and he's still got nowhere to go. So your guess is as good as mine. I don't know why he's still unsigned at this point, but I think that he could be a nice fit for somebody if he gets the opportunity to do so there. But Clayton, thanks for the question there on Dalton Reisner and why he's still a free agent. Who knows? Got jerseys that we're selling for some of your favorite NFL rookies, from Bryce Young to Anthony Richardson, C.J. Stroud, among others. Bijan Robinson wearing 7. That's a little spicy for a running back there. You can get all these as well as other NFL jerseys at chatsports.com/NFL jerseys to get yours today. Great way to get these jerseys now as these guys begin their careers, and hopefully you have this jersey as they go all the way to the Hall of Fame. So get yours now. Support your favorite rookie. Chatsports.com/NFL jersey is the site to get yours now, and you will be glad you did. All right, we will shift gears and get to another question in the mailbag. And this one comes from Hudson. As Hudson wants to know, was the Alex Ingold contract too much? No, I don't think so. I think that, it wasn't the best contract, not necessarily, but it could have been worse as far as I'm concerned. Hudson, very good question, but I don't think it was necessarily too much money that he was able to get there. Laura writes, what position should the 49ers address? Let me circle back to that question when we get to the trade deadline. Think about this. Last year, when you looked at the receiving core for the 49ers last year, they kind of took a step back. Brandon Ayuk and those guys weren't as good necessarily as they were the year prior. And, they're coming off 2 straight NFC Championship game appearances and all, where they lost 2 straight years. If the receiving core isn't up to snuff, watch out potentially for them to maybe say goodbye to Brandon Ayuk and maybe make a move to go get another receiver to try to capitalize and give a weapon for Brock Purdy there. All right, and then one more question in the mailbag. Not so fast. Lee Corso, good to see you. Will Jonathan Taylor get traded after he's activated when he comes off PUP? Very good question. Not so fast. Lee Corso, good to see you in the mailbag this week. But, Lee, I do. I think that it's not repairable, the relationship between the Indianapolis Colts and Jonathan Taylor. And it's all on the Indianapolis Colts. It has been totally screwed up by Jim Irsay and Colts management with the decisions they've made over the last couple months, how they've handled this. Jonathan Taylor wants to get paid. There's a number of teams that would gladly pay Jonathan Taylor, and they're not doing it. This has been poorly treated. If I'm Jonathan Taylor, why would I ever play for that organization ever again? I don't think they're going to have a choice, but they're going to have to trade him before the trade deadline. Where will Jonathan Taylor play after Week 4? Where's it going to be? Something tells me watch out for the Miami Dolphins as a possibility. We'll see. Where is he going to go? Chime in. Tell us in the comments section where that team is, where you think Jonathan Taylor is ultimately going to end up when it's all said and done.